Hello, good evening, lovely book club. I hope you're well. I am so tired. I'm so tired. This week feels like it's gone on forever, and I normally Friday nights. I just think, oh right, I've done it. That's the end of another week. But I've got to work tomorrow morning until middle of the afternoon, so I'm a bit like, oh no, I want that Friday feeling, but it's not quite there. But it'll be a nice meeting in the morning. I'm mentoring someone who's written there's a project here about how to talk about climate change without people switching off to it. And I did like a public speaking thing at a conference at the beginning of the year, talking about how I do comedy about climate change, because I'm terrified of it. And so they said, how do you feel about mentoring somebody who's working on a script with this project of trying to get climate change to be something people can talk about without freaking out so much. So I've got a meeting for that in the morning. So it should be quite good because she's really funny and lovely and the script is good. But I really wanted a glass of wine tonight. And I was like, is this going to be the first wind up book club that we've had of this book? But then I was thinking to myself, don't have one tonight because you've got to get up and work in the morning. So wait until tomorrow night. So expect drunk ass tweets tomorrow night. So yes, I am so tired. I'm so tired. I'm just tired right into my bones, which, considering like I'm not going anywhere, feels really weird. I feel like I should be less tired, but I think it's logical, isn't it, that using your brain and sort of making creative stuff uses calories. I'd love to know what calories your brain burns, because I just feel wiped out by the end of these days. But I've been lying on the sofa watching Australian MasterChef. I finished up at about 20 to 9, I think, and cooked dinner, and then a bit of Australian MasterChef, which is good, but oh my god, I keep rolling my fucking eyes at it. Every 20 seconds, I just want to cook it for my grandma, because cooking this means that I'll just say, oh, shut up and cook better. I don't care at all about which family member has inspired your shitty pancake pudding. It's not very good. So it's actually embarrassing now that you've claimed that it's based on your kid, because clearly your kid sucks. And I don't understand that. Like, we're right back on season 2 because I've never watched it. So we started from the beginning. But if any of you have watched it, that weird little goblin man, the bald one that just when he eats, he bends over the plate like as close to it as he can get, shoveling it in. And I just think, stand up and eat, you disgusting little goblin. Oh, he makes me really angry. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing to relax, is getting angry at lovely people doing a cooking competition. But hey ho, I didn't have my bath today, but my office smells amazing from the bath bombs. I think I'm just gonna always have at least one, and I'm gonna store them up here because I come up here and it smells amazing. Mackie, also, give you a quick update as it's Friday. Mackie has the weird goblin man lost his hospitality empire for underpaying his staff. Interesting insider information from down under. Yeah, he's a weird goblin. Mackie, you know how I've said before she doesn't eat very much. She suddenly found her appetite in the last 2 days, and today conned a second dinner out of us because I'd already fed her and Tom didn't realise I'd fed her. So she's actually eaten more than she's supposed to eat, which we've been fighting to get her to eat half of what she's meant to eat. Today, 150%. So we're really hoping that that we're going to get a proper sized dog. She's supposed to have about 2 more weeks of growth in her. I think Jack Russell's everything online says they're done growing her about 6 months. She's so small. So yes, I'm very pleased with her. In a year or 2, I'll be angry with her for overeating and I'll have to watch her weight. But at the moment, I'm trying to shovel calories into her. I'm very pleased with her. So yes, Lisa's dogs do the same. Yes, I think it might be a great spurt, Jenny. Not a nice man. Oh, interesting. Oh, we're getting all of the information. I think it's something about The dynamic for MasterChef seems to be two men speaking far too angrily at the contestants. And you just think, like, it's you don't have to be so horrible. I think this is why, like, all of the kitchens I've ever worked in, I've never been a chef, but I've been a waitress quite a lot. And the chefs are just so stressed and angry and rude to each other. And you think, I'm sure it doesn't have to be like this. Like, I know it's high pressure situation, but is it just because it's run by angry, egotistical men? Is that the problem? The three men were all ditched last year. This is huge. I mean, I've still got like 9 series. My brother and his girlfriend do a great thing. He won't mind telling us. They do a great thing, but like I think when it gets to about halfway through or something, they take bets on who's going to win, and whoever loses has to cook the other one a 3-course meal, which is quite exciting. Right, so we should probably read this chapter at some point. We should do 2 streams, shouldn't we? Just Gossip Club and Book Club. I love Michel Roux. Right, Michel Roux Jr., and you're going to think I'm mad when I say this, but he has the kindly eyes of a female elephant, and I love him, and I'll hear no bad words against him. So what I was thinking, obviously we've got a couple more weeks of this story, and then we'll see what happens with December and lockdown. We'll obviously get it finished. But how would you feel about a one-off Christmas Eve book club? I was thinking, not all of us have families, and this year's going to be weird. We're not going to be able to see each other potentially. Not us lot. We were never going to spend Christmas together, I assume. But maybe we could find a good time for Antipodeans and for UK and for US peeps, and we could do like an extended story, not just a chapter, but I could write sort of like a decent sized one in the week before Christmas, and we could do like a nice Christmas Eve, like everybody turns up with a mulled wine and we hang out. I think that could be really nice, just to sort of, a nice little something get together before Christmas, and then we can have that nice week off in between where we all lie about full of stuff. Okay, there's lots of yeses in the comments, so we'll do something for Christmas Eve. I'll have a think about what I can write, because I know we were thinking of doing a Christmas story, and this one hasn't really gone there, because you've all chosen really weird stuff, and I don't know why you've done that. It had nothing to do with me. So yes, okay. Right, where is the chapter? God, I've been writing so much different stuff today. My brain is just fried. I'm trying to write the second book, and then I'm also writing 12 new Clock chapters for this promo stuff. And then I also had a meeting today about the TV show that I've just sold. And so I've got so many different characters, plus this book. My brain is just like utterly full of all stuff. Right, let's do a chapter. Oh, I'm not eating mince pies, Kira. Mince pies are disgusting. I'll just have a box of celebrations. A second Clock book. No, I think I'm done with Clock now. Not physically, but it's just some promo. We're doing this thing called the 12 Days of Clockmas, so I'm going to be filming the chapters over the weekend and putting them out as promotion for the book for Christmas. Emma and Jack Christmas wedding. Art World, that could be a good idea. Oh, Chris, you're wrong about mince pies. You know. Okay, right. Baileys, yes, Lisa. Chocolate Baileys. Have you had the Belgian chocolate Baileys? Jesus Christ, it's insane. Right, chapter 10. We need to get, I'm so excited about Christmas now. Chapter 10. Kate waved goodbye to Christian and felt genuinely sad to see him go. It wasn't that she'd particularly miss him. It was just that she wasn't that keen on change, and now she had to have someone new move in. Ewan was due to arrive the next day, and Kate had decided to swallow her fears about it and make sure the house looked inviting for him when he arrived. By the way, it just occurs to me to say sorry about the technical difficulties last night. I don't know what happened. Tom wasn't downloading anything. She was trying not to be judgy, but that was proving very difficult. She just was judgy. She'd never met anyone polyamorous before, and her attempts to research it on the internet had been eye-opening, to say the least. She felt hopelessly uncool and very out of her depth. And why had she lied to him about having a boyfriend? She would try and smooth that over as early as possible. She had chosen Ewan for several reasons. Firstly, he was the only one who didn't scare her entirely. Tim's bizarre attitude towards the size of the kitchen had set her on edge, and she didn't feel like she could live comfortably with someone who was that blunt about things he did and didn't like. She was also very nervous of anyone who loved a cat as much as he seemed to. What if she stepped on its tail or kicked its litter tray and Tim killed her in her sleep? She couldn't handle that pressure. No, it couldn't be Tim. Then there was Harvey. What an enigma Harvey had turned out to be. She didn't feel like it would be too difficult to go vegetarian if she needed to, but how could she live with a man who only ate vegetables and smelled so strongly like meatballs? She was also seriously concerned that he might be eating his guinea pigs. Obviously he wasn't. He was a vegetarian, but there was something shiftily creepy about him. Of a weird batch of guys, Ewan was definitely the most normal. She was very nervous about having a snake in the house, but she decided as long as it was in his room and in some kind of secure tank, then it was fine. Also, perhaps one of his girlfriends might be lovely and become her new best friend. That would be good. Okay, so he wasn't the perfect housemate, but she was sure she'd make it work. Kate was good at that. Hell, only a fortnight ago she had been trying to work out how she could settle down and marry Graham simply because he was the only date she'd been on. She anxiously put her key in the lock on her return home from work the day Ewan was due to have moved in. It felt odd to be coming home to a different person. Christian was a bit of a non-entity housemate. She paused. Perhaps that was why it hadn't worked. She'd never really considered that it was his home. He'd just lived there and used the rooms she wasn't using. She promised herself that she would be more respectful to Ewan. It wasn't that she hadn't respected Christian, she just hadn't really thought about him. What did she think? Well, what did she think about? No, hang on a minute. Right, okay. It wasn't that she hadn't respected Christian, she just hadn't really thought about him. What did she think about? Well, that was the problem, wasn't it? She tried not to think. She pushed the door open and called out an experimental hi. Ewan's head appeared round the kitchen doorframe. Oh, what was he? He's Irish, isn't he? I need to make a note of this. Ewan is Irish. Done. I don't know what you guys are talking about in the chat here. Are any of you safe, really? I'm going to kill you guys. Right, you guys out of the story. What's happened? The guinea pigs are fine. Oh, Irish. Hi, housemate. How was work? Oh my God, that's nearly as bad as Future Scope. No, I've been watching too much Just Change. I'm from Ireland, Dublin. Hi, hey there, housemate. How is work? She noticed he was wearing her apron and wasn't sure whether she was thrilled he felt at home or annoyed at him for helping himself. Turns out we have the same apron, he laughed, pulling at the apron with his hand and immediately solving her problem of how to feel. She smiled, relaxing, and promising herself she would try and engage properly. Work was all right. Work's work, isn't it? She said, shrugging. You don't love it? He said, disappearing into the kitchen, which she took to be a cue to follow him in there. She sat down at the table and removed her coat and shoes. Not really. I'm not one of those live-to-work type people. I'm more, I have to go to work, so I do. Ah, that's a shame. What did you prefer to do? Kate stared at him. What do you mean? Well, like, what's the dream job? He laughed a little, confusing her, confused as to why she didn't understand. I don't really have a dream job, she admitted. My dream is to not have a job. He laughed properly then and continued stirring. What would you do with all that time if you didn't have a job? What's the dream life then? She stared at him again. I don't know. TV, I suppose. This is a big investigation, given that you've only just got here. You're right, I'm sorry. So I've made us some dinner, but I warn you now, I'm a terrible cook. He served something brown and nice smelling out of a saucepan. Oh, there you go. I'm a good cook. Maybe I'd cook something. You know, the job question or the spare time thing. Ah, well, you should have said that in the interview. I'd have paid double for the room if you'd mentioned you were a good cook. He sat down at the table and they picked up their cutlery. She took a big mouthful. Oh, this is lovely. You definitely can cook, she said honestly. Yeah, well, it's your turn tomorrow. Kate's phone rang and she answered it to hear Polly's voice angrily barking at her. Where are you? She barked. I've been waiting outside 5 minutes. Everyone else is in here. Oh my God, book club. Yes, I'm round the corner. I got held up with something, she said and hung up. Fuck, I forgot all about my book club. I've got to go. Oh, thank you so much for the dinner. I'll eat it when I get back. Whoa, do you need a lift? Ewan called after her, and Kate hesitated. It would be better than walking all the way back up the hill on her already quite tired feet, but could she get in a car with someone she'd just met? Yes, she decided. Yes, she could. Would you mind? Your dinner'll go cold. Ewan waved a hand dismissively. Hey, what are housemates for, eh? Boom. That is your chapter. I thought quite a sweet one. They seem to be getting on well. I'll tell you what you narrowly missed out on. He is a cabbie. He's not going to charge. He's nice. You missed out on. So this was Ewan. Was going to make her forget book club. Tim was going to be really mad. Tim was going to have brought all his own kitchen equipment with him and insist on splitting the kitchen surfaces down the middle, so they had to have their own kettle and toaster and everything. Kate agrees because she can't be bothered to argue. She accidentally lets the cat into the garden while Tim is at work and has to fight to get it back in. She misses book club because of catching the cat. So that was going to happen. If it had been Harvey, she was going to decide to go vegetarian to make him happy and then absolutely fall in love with the guinea pigs and end up talking to them quite a lot, and they were going to become a sort of therapist for her. And then she was going to realise that she kind of wants to go to book club on her own and was going to pluck up the courage to ask Polly if that's okay. Polly says yes, she was too busy to read the book anyway. And she was going to start going to book club on her own. Could have been a big step for her if it had been Harvey. She could have had a guinea pig therapist, but no, we've got Ewan, who had a very charming meal with her. And I like cats. Cats are really nice. I just think Tim's crazy. I really enjoy Tim. In my head, he's like 6'5" and always wearing like one of those like 90s suits that's too wide and big, you know. Yes, so she was gonna have a lovely meal and then sort of get it all right. Kate is insane, says Turkus. Okay, so your question is, they are on their way to book club. She's going to go to book club. Who at book club is going to really disagree with Kate? Oh, Maria likes the Ewan choice. Okay. The snakes can only talk if somebody knows Parseltongue, Mystic. Come on. So the question is, who really disagrees with Kate at book club? One of them's going to disagree with her. Your characters, as if you could forget. I don't know who Penny is. You're all shouting Penny. I've missed something. Anyway, Sasha, Joe, Frank, Liesel, Clara, Maggie and Polly. Those are all the characters. So I'll give you a rundown. Sasha was the French one that ran the session. Joe was the Russian, the younger of the two men. Frank was our Yorkshire man. Liesel was our Australian. Clara is the Geordie, who is Polly too. And Maggie is new to the club and from Essex. What is happening in the chat? So those are your choices. You choose who disagrees with Kate, and it will have ramifications. And I will see you Monday. Oh, it's Friday, so I will say I'll put the coffee link in the description if you're watching this live or on catch up and you have £3 you can throw in there to buy me a cup of tea. Very much appreciated. If not, as ever, no worries, and just vote and please give the videos a thumbs up. That is all I ask, because money and everything, is it? Thumbs are just as nice. So have a lovely weekend and I will see you Monday. Bye.